Dear students, this is the fourth video for class 10th and it is related to lesson number 1. And in this video we'll discuss about some of the questions which are related to the topics what we discussed in the previous videos. Okay. First, very important but common questions what you will be getting in the exam from the topics what we discussed in the previous video, that is related to land. So with regard to the land as a resource, what we discussed earlier and all of you have read in class junior classes also, with regard to the land, it is very important resource. This resource can be used for different purposes. It may be used as forested area, cultivated area. It may be used for settlements, as pasture land, then construction of roads, rails. So single land is utilized by us in different ways to fulfill our different needs or the requirements. So we can say that land is an important resource for us. So you may get the question, how can you say that land is a resource of utmost important or very important? So in this way you can count the points that single land is utilized by us in different ways to fulfill our different needs, like for settlement, for growing grains, as forested area, as pasture land, then for mining minerals, for construction of roads, rails, for setting up industries. So what we say, single land we are using in different ways to fulfill our different needs or the requirements. Then another question that we will be getting, what is land use or land use pattern? So from the name itself we are getting the meaning land use or land use pattern. In very simple sentence we can define it in this way. Utilization of available land in a country by the people in different ways to fulfill their different needs or the requirements can be termed as land use or land use pattern. Then with regard to the factors, different factors are there which are influencing the land use pattern in an area. First one, that is the physical factor. First one, that is physical factor. First one is physical factor, and second one, that is human factor. Second one, that is the human factor. Second one is human. So these are the two main factors, physical factors, or if you want you can call geographical factors. Then next one, human factors or economic factors. In physical factors, the points which can be included, topography or the landforms, climate, soil type. In human or the economic factors, we can include density of population, technological know-how possessed by the people, culture and the tradition of the people of a country. Then another question which is also related to the same topic land, you may get the question, what do you mean by net zone area? So with regard to the net zone area, in very simple sentence what we can say, the area sown once a year in a particular country can be termed as a net sown area. Then another question that is also related from the same topic, gross sown area, or we can say gross cropped area. So with regard to the gross cropped area, it can be explained as area sown more than once in a agricultural year plus the net sown area After that, we will discuss about some of the questions which are related from soil. So with regard to the first question, what we may be getting from the topic soil, what is soil? Define soil. So in the previous video I told, in very simple sentence what we can say, superfine particles of weathered rock with humus which is indispensable or necessary for growth of plants is termed as soil. After that we will discuss about some of the other questions which are related to the topic soil. Then you may be getting the question to mention the characteristics of different varieties of soil. So if you are getting such question, mention the characteristics of, first let us discuss about the alluvial soil. If you are getting, mention the characteristics of alluvial soil. So with regard to the alluvial soil, this variety of soil is an example of transported soil. On the basis of formation, soil can be of two types, transported and residual. So alluvial soil is an example of transported variety of soil, and if we will take the example of black soil, red soil, so these are the examples of residual variety of soil. Means these soil like black soil, red soil, laterite soil, these varieties of soils have been formed at C2. C2 means SITU. C2 means the place of origin. So first let us discuss about some of the characteristics of alluvial soil. So regarding the formation of alluvial soil, this variety of soil has been formed by deposition of silt or sediments brought down by the rivers from the Himalayan regions. With regard to the location of this variety of soil, in India, this variety of soil we are getting in the river valleys of Ganga and Brahmaputra, deltas of Godavari, Krishna, then coastal strips of the peninsular India also. Important states are Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Bihar and West Bengal, in which we are getting alluvial soil. This variety of soil is rich in potash and lime but deficient in organic and nitrogenous content. In general, this variety of soil is very fertile and it is ideal for cultivation of rice, wheat, cotton, oil seeds and sugarcane. After that, we will discuss about another important variety of soil, that is black soil. So with regard to the black soil, this variety of soil is also locally known as Rager soil, and it has been formed by the process of weathering of volcanic rock, or you can say the basalt. This variety of soil is located in Deccan Trough area in the valleys of Godavari, Krishna, Narmada and Tapi. The states in which we are getting this variety of soil are Maharashtra, Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. This variety of soil is rich in iron, lime, potash, magnesium, alumina and calcium, but it lacks in nitrogen and humus content. It is having self-flowing characteristic. It does not mean that it flow itself. It simply means that during the hot dry period it is developing cracks, what I told you in the previous period. It is also having moisture holding capacity. It is ideal for cultivation of cotton, tobacco, oil seeds and sugar cane. After that, next variety of soil, that is red soil. If you are getting the question to mention the characteristics of this variety of soil, so what we can say that this variety of soil is formed in situ, the place of origin, due to the decomposition of metamorphic rocks. And with regard to the location of this variety of soil, we are getting in the eastern parts of Deccan Plateau, Kerala, southern states of Tamil Nadu and Chota Nagpur Plateau region. This variety of soil is rich in iron content but it is deficient in phosphorus, nitrogen, humus, and lime. This variety of soil is coarse grained, porous, and it is ideal for cultivation of wheat, rice, cotton, pulses, and sugar cane. Then laterite variety of soil. So with regard to the laterite variety of soil, this variety of soil is formed by intense leaching due to heavy rainfall. So what is leaching? In very simple sentence, what we can say, the process by which soluble part of the soil is carried away by a stream of water or rainwater in the form of solution is known as leaching. So as this soil is formed by the process of leaching, so in general it is infertile in nature. This variety of soil we are getting in the hilly areas of eastern and western Ghats and also in Assam hills. This variety of soil is rich in iron content but deficient in potassium, lime, silica, phosphoric acid, and nitrogen. It is acidic, porous in nature, and after using chemical fertilizer, this variety of soil can also be used for cultivation of coffee, rubber, cashew nut, etc. After that, we will discuss about another important question that you will be getting in the exam, that is about the conservation of soil. This question is very important. So if you are getting the question, what do you mean by soil conservation and what are the steps that can be taken to control soil erosion? So what is soil conservation? In very simple sentence, what we can say, the process by which fertility of the soil is protected and removal of soil is controlled is known as soil erosion. Or in other words, what we can say is soil conservation includes all those measures which help in protecting the soil from erosion and exhaustion. So in this way also you can define soil conservation. So the steps what can be taken to conserve the soil. First one, that is afforestation. We can increase area under the trees, and all of you know that roots of the trees are holding the soil very firmly and tightly, and by this way soil erosion can be restricted. Then restricted grazing by animals. So grazing must be done in planned way manner, and by practicing grazing of animals in planned way manner only we will able to conserve the soil. Then construction of dams also, or embankments along the course of the river can also help in controlling soil erosion. And other points also what you can include here, like contour plowing, terrace farming, strip cropping, shelter belts. So these points can also be included if you are getting the question, what are the steps that can be taken to control soil erosion. But one question is also very important, and generally the students are adding same points as answer. But if you are getting the question, what are the steps that can be taken to control soil erosion in hilly or mountainous regions of our country, then from the points what I have discussed, you will have to only include some of the relevant points only. So if you are getting the question, what are the steps that can be taken to control soil erosion in hilly area? First point what you can include, that is contour plowing. This is very relevant point. What is contour plowing? What I discussed in the previous video. The tilling of land or plowing of land parallel to the contour lines against the slope of the hill is known as contour plowing. And what is contour line? In science you might have studied. The imaginary lines which are joining the places having same elevation or height above the mean sea level. So in this type of plowing, the farmers are tilling the land just parallel to the contour line against the slope of the hill. Then terrace farming can also be included as point relevant point. In this type of farming, slope of the hill is converted into terraces, stair-like structure. And when the slope of the hill is converted into terraces or stair-like structures, so this structure reduces the speed of flow of water, stream of water, or rainwater, and by this way soil erosion is restricted or controlled. Then afforestation can also be included as answer. Then restricted grazing of animals. This is the another very important point which can be included if you are getting the question what are the steps that can be taken to control soil erosion in hilly areas. So these are some of the very important questions, short answer type questions that you may be getting in the exam. So you will learn by heart and you will keep in your mind. Thank you, and again we will meet in next video.